Fair warning to anyone jumping on if you see this. And anyway, I'm feeling a little like loopy, so my readings might be slower today. I might be analyzing the cards a little bit longer instead of doing them quicker. But we'll see how this goes. I'm just wanting to get online. I have a few minutes, like 30 minutes before I have to go do something else in my personal life. Let's see here. Get my water real quick. Okay, let's do a message for the collective. And actually, someone already, forget the message for the collective. We have Farah Reem who just got on and asked, where will I meet my future spouse? Let's see where. Ooh, I have a deck for that. I actually have a place oracle deck, Farah, so cool. Okay, so let's see. Where will Farah meet her future spouse? Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull a few more cards for X and getting some information here. So let's see. Well, we have two things here. We have a few different things here, right? So, I am seeing like hospital first and foremost, as far as like a place where you could meet them. So somewhere where it's like there's medical people or some place of healing in general, some kind of healing facility. I'm also seeing here with the Queen of Pentacles, this could be a place you already know about, or it could be a place in your past that you already know about. I'm also seeing someone who's very boss-like. I'm getting a vibe of like a boss-like vibe. This person could be a doctor, but I just feel like you are meeting in a hospital or something like that. I also think with Kitchen here and Chariot in reverse, Chariot like is the card that represents Cancer, and with it being in reverse, I'm getting that strong vibe of like retreat, retreat, retreat. I see you spending a lot of time thinking about this person in the kitchen, like cooking food, cooking meals, and thinking about this person in the early phases of the relationship. So in a way, you're meeting them in that place as well, because you're analyzing the situation or the relationship at that place where you're meeting them. And then I also see with place of reminiscence, right, which is nostalgia, memories, sentimental childhood reflection. As the relationship continues, there's this feeling of having a place that you both go to all the time, and it's like a place that represents a sweetness in both of your childhood, something like that. And I do see a returning to this area often and dreaming of future destinies or trips or plans or stuff like that. So those are places where I think initially it'll be like remembering when you're like, oh, beginning of the relationship with the future spouse, you'll be thinking of these places as far as like the beginning of it. Okay, let's see. Casey says, hi, Cody. Casey says, what will be the next significant relationship I'll have, whether romantic or platonic? Okay, so let's get a love story card, because I'm being told this card is really important for you, Casey. So let's pull this card out here. We have differences. Okay, let me get a character oracle. And it said, what will be the next significant relationship I'll have, whether romantic or platonic? Okay, let's see here. Let's get one more card. Butcher. Okay, and then let's get a tarot card and we'll do your reading. Yeah, this person's very different from who you've ever dated in the past. To the point where I think that in the initial stages, you'll actually be a little bit repelled by them. Like you'll be like, oh, I don't know about you. I don't know if I want to be with you. But then there's something that makes you grow closer. Casey is kind of what I'm seeing. I think this person has a little bit of a ruthless streak. They're a little bit mean. They're a little bit intense. They have an intense vibe to them. I think this person is, what's it called, an opposites person, where like whatever they say is the opposite of whoever they're around, that kind of thing. Like they wield the differing perspective almost like a weapon. And it's not as scary as it seems, because I do see that like at first you're like, whoa, this does not feel good. And I think this is something that like in a weird way like works with you after you get to know them better, or through certain situations you see them in. It's like you get closer to them. It's like there's someone who's always around, but you don't really know why they're a beneficial person. Like, why do we need this skill in our society? Why do we need this type of person in like my friend group, or who I'm hanging out with, right? But then you slowly learn as you deal with this person, you're like, oh, that makes sense. We need this for this, or we need that for that, stuff like that. And so that's where there's kind of this feeling of attraction. Casey wrote, oh no, not mean, LOL. Yeah, and I don't know if they're like mean. They're like very blunt, definitely. And like that can definitely be perceived as mean by some people. But it's just like abrasive is kind of the best way to, like, the feeling I'm getting that you're gonna feel about them is a sense of like abrasiveness or something like that. And maybe their haste, their speed at which they do things, I think could be something that is triggering in a way where you're like, I'm so different from this person, right? But overall, it's this vibe of like, as you spend time with them, it's like learning like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like you need that for that. And like, I can't do that. Or like, I'm not that way. Like I'm so different from that, but like, look how easily they got that done. Something like that. And so there's a feeling of like maybe needing someone else, or feeling like you need this person in the long run, or like in the process of this relationship. Right. So yeah. Just so you guys know, I think my reading is like fine right now, but like I've been feeling like kind of cloudy in my head all day. So I wanted to get on and read. I just don't know how like clear, lucid I'm gonna seem on tonight's live. But I wanted to read anyway, so let's see. Farah Reem says, how many children will I have? Let's see, Farah. I'm gonna pull tarot cards for this one. Farah, first of all, your future spouse this is coming up again. This came up in your previous reading. Your future spouse is coming out as the Queen of Pentacles. I think they're going to have some feminine energy, even if they are a man. I don't know what you're into romantically, but they're going to have some feminine energy, even though they're very boss-like in this femininity. Let's see what else here, as far as how many children you're going to have. Let me get a couple more cards. Let's see, Farah. I mean, my first thought, Farah, is like possibly 4 children at the most. I do see with the Empress and the Queen of Cups in reverse, there's a feeling of dreaming of being a mother, like dreaming of being a mother, dreaming of being someone who's a nurturing energy, dreaming of being someone who is like a mothering figure to someone. But I am also seeing the Star card upright and the 4 of Wands upright. And this just indicates that you might have more of a life of, like your life might be taking a different direction than what your dreams are. I do see you still having kids. It's just that when you're dealing with your kids, it's going to be less about like, oh, how am I going to raise them? How loving can I be? Stuff like that. And it's more about like how much fun you guys are going to have together. Like, I feel like you and your kids, Farah, are like, it's like fun all the time. It's like you probably are going to have like 4 kids. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot, like a huge blast is what I'm seeing. And I am seeing your partner taking on more mothering responsibilities in general. Like, it's like your partner likes to be the one that like to cooks dinner or to nurture them in these certain times or something like that. And I see you more as like the fun parent, or the parent that like brings the joy or the fun or the excitement in the situation, something like that. Like there's this vibe that like you're the funny one, or you're the one that is like the one that takes the kids out on fun trips. Like the good thing about this is like I feel like you've been worried about having to spoil your kids, specifically of like like you're worried about spoiling your kids, but your partner will always keep you in check. Like you do not necessarily have to develop the tendency of like, oh, like I'm going to nurture them with what's best for them and blah, blah, blah. Like I see you're supposed to be the one that brings in the fun. Like you're the one that brings in the fun. You're the one that brings in the like, oh, I'm going to spoil them with this. We're going to go out to here. We're going to do this. And then your partner kind of is more of like the lays down the laws and is more the nurturing one and is more the one who is kind of like there for psychological stuff, but you're more like this fun. I see you as more of like a fun kind of like parent for your kids where they're like, I know I can go to my mom if I'm having if I really want to have fun. Like she's going to take me out to have fun. Like you're kind of the parent that like, in some ways you cheer up your kids. Your partner might be a little more serious than you, but like you're the fun one. Like you're the one that takes them out and does all the fun things and everything like that is kind of what I'm seeing. And it might be a little bit different than what you thought your destiny was going to be as a mom. But I see that there's just something about your kids that like you crack them up or they crack you up, or there's just such a fun, infectious environment is what I'm seeing with your family and your kids. And it's possible 4. That's the only number card I got. So I would say 4 for kids wise. Let's see. Casey says, super interesting. Thank you for the reading. Yeah. Let's see. Soul Child says, hey. Soul Child says, Dante has been a bit distant lately. I was wondering how he feels about our relationship. Simeon says, hey, Cody. Hey, Simeon. Let's go to Soul Child's. Dante has been a bit distant lately. Wondering how he feels about our relationship. So, Soul Child. How does Dante feel about his relationship with Soul Child? I'm gonna pull Love Story Oracle too, just to... Oh, okay. Okay. First of all, Soul Child, your relationship's very fun. He enjoys the relationship a lot. There's something about a really fun environment with both of you. Really good times, pleasant times. But there's something about who you are as a person that he is confused about, and someone is giving him information about this. Or helping him with advice or something like that. There's something about like, I don't know, is she this person? Is she this person? Something like that. Because we have the Queen of Cups here in reverse, which talks about him thinking about your identity. And then we have the Moon upright, which is like this sense of confusion. It's this sense of not being able to see clearly what's going on. And then we also have the Influence card. So I do think there's this feeling of someone telling him things about you, and he's just a little confused. He's like, well, I got to kind of figure out if this person is who they say they are, something like that. Let me see what else I can see here. I feel like there's another message. I just got to see it. Well, we have this lobster in the Moon card who is tilting towards the Influence card. And I am seeing this person, and because the wolf is above the lobster and the dog is above the other side, I am seeing this person is catering to your partner's more wild, impulsive instincts. So it's not necessarily catering to his rationality as so much as like maybe more of his fears or more of his impulsive kind of side of himself. So yeah, it's just one of those things where he's probably has to sort through some things. I do think he finds the relationship super fun, super chill. But it does feel like there's someone whispering in his ear a little bit. But yeah, with the Moon card here, it's a weird journey because it's Moon energy in tarot is like, you're very confused. You don't know where you're going. And then once you get out on the other end, you're like, how did I get here? Like, you know, but it's like, you have to be, the best thing with Moon energy is like, yeah, it's like you need to be guided by your intuition. You need to follow your intuition, but like, you can't see where you're going the entire time, you know? So it's like someone's talking to him about you and they literally can't see who you are because the stuff they're saying counteracts with what you're seeing and stuff like that. And so he can't see the truth clearly right now. So if he's distant, it's because he's like absorbing a lot of information and different perspectives and he has to reconcile all those is what I'm seeing. Soul Child says, that's interesting. And she says, I see, I understand. And FDI says, hi, we ask. Yeah, if you ask and I see it, I see your message, I will get to it. But sometimes they keep scrolling up and I don't see them. Yeah. Sometimes people do the super chat thing and then it like stays on the screen. So I see those longer for whatever reason. But yeah, Cassie S says, hi, Cody. How did T feel when he saw me Friday? Okay, Cassie wants to know. Cassie wants to know, how did T feel when he saw me Friday? Cassie says, how did T feel when he saw me Friday? The first card that came out was like, were you with your family, Cassie? Because there's a feeling of something about, like, or did you just come from seeing your family? I'd be curious if that happened or something, because the vibe that I'm getting when he saw you was like, it's either you just got done, you were picking up your kid. Okay, okay. Did he see you with your kid? Because there's a feeling of like I can't talk to her because she's like busy with her family. But it's like he was really happy to see you. It's like, I'm really happy to see you, that kind of thing. But there's a feeling of like, yeah, it feels like he felt like you were distant. He's like, oh, was Cassie distant? Because, like, I don't know if you were preoccupied or busy. He's the principal. No, LOL, he's the principal. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to read my message and then not try to, like, guess. I'll just tell you what I see. So there's a feeling of, like, thinking, like, with the Ten of Pentacles, like there's something about your family, like thinking like there's something going on with your family dynamic, something like that. And with the Four of Cups here, there's a feeling that either he was very like bored or overloaded with stuff, or you seem bored and overloaded with stuff. But Nine of Cups did feel like there's a satisfaction here. Like there's a satisfaction on his end when he saw you. So I don't know if you're asking about romance, Cassie, but like we have Cups and Pentacles energy here, so there is feelings of love here, but there's no Wands. So if you're wondering about, I don't know if you're trying to get with the principal or something, I don't know. But yeah, with Nine of Wands, he was definitely felt good to see you, something like that. Like there's a feeling of satisfaction on, yeah, romantic, okay. There's a feeling of satisfaction on his end, like feeling satisfied, feeling like, you know, a little bit of smugness, like, I got it, I got this, I got what's going on, that kind of thing. With Four of Cups here, though, I feel like there's this feeling that, like, he's, like, nervous, you're, like, too busy, or your life, there's too much on your plate, or, like, he can't get his offer in right away, or something like that, or there's this feeling of, like, something about maybe you not accepting an offer, or something like that. And then there's this feeling of, like, possibly thinking you come from either like a wealthy family, or there's something about family, like there's some kind of thing about family dynamics that he feels like he has a knowledge about in your situation. I almost wanted to say there was family there in the situation, which you said kids, there was, but at the same time, it might go deeper than that. Like he might be analyzing family dynamics because of your kid and you and mom or your mom or whatever. Because Ten of Pentacles is like ancestral stuff. So yeah, so that's what I got for that. Let's see. FDI says, oh my God, Cody, I watched your reading, but I'm seeing you for the first time. You are lovely. Oh, thank you, FDI. Pink Vision says, hi, Cody. I would like to know if I'll have to move in Switzerland for work. Thank you if you'll answer. Pink Vision. Will Pink Vision have to move to Switzerland for work? Okay. Is this a situation, Pink Vision, that's happening soon? Because Eight of Wands talks about quickness, suddenness, immediacy, and it usually is a yes answer, but it's also a divine intervention answer. So it's like, this is just going to kind of happen randomly and suddenly and spontaneously, and it's going to happen all at once. With Nine of Cups here, I see this move is going to be very satisfying. I see you're very grateful for the move. I see once you move into this place, wherever you're moving, because Eight of Wands also indicates air travel. So if you're flying, if you have to fly here too, this is a strong indication that this move is going to happen. But with Nine of Cups here, there's a feeling of being satisfied once you get there. So it's like, wow, I really like this place, or wow, I'm glad this happened, or wow, I see how all these experiences led up to me being here and I'm right in the right spot. The only thing that I see that is concerning, that's not concerning, but is concerning you when you get here, is this feeling of feeling like you're so wrapped up and busy that you can't try out new things. And I think part of you wants to try out new things when you're in Switzerland, right? Wants to try out new things when you're there. So there's a feeling of like, okay, well, you know, I hope I have enough time to at least do some new stuff, to try out some new things. Cassie S says, yeah, he met my mom. Okay, so he knows the whole family. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Cassie S says, thank you. Yeah, so that's what I got about the Switzerland question. So I want to get Cassie's, because I was like back to Cassie's reading, but Dania Hyrie wants to ask, can I ask, will I be famous? So Dania wants to ask if she'll be famous. I feel like there's a deck I want to use for this question. I want to use the Time deck, and I want to use this deck. I'm only going to pull the top cards. Okay, let's see. Will Dania be famous? I'm going to pull a tarot card too. Will Dania be famous? Okay. Will Dania be famous? Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Dania, I do not think you're going to be famous, mainly because we have this card which says not in this lifetime. But that does not say you're not going to work with famous people, because we also have Navigate by the Sun. This basically indicates that whatever career you have, the reason why you're attracted to fame, the reason why you're attracted to people who are famous is because you are meant to work with people who are famous. You're not necessarily in the limelight, but you are kind of like, what's that type of person who like really supports the famous person? Like you could be a personal assistant. You do something that's kind of behind the scenes, but really pushes, you're going to work with a lot of famous people. So there might be a feeling too that you're, you know, whatever you set up in this lifetime for your life story, right? You probably thought to yourself, like when you set this up, like, you know what? I don't want to be famous. I see what that does to people. I see all the pressure that has. But like, I love famous people. Like I want to have friends that are famous. I want to know famous people. I want to be connected to famous people. So Dania, I see you connected to a lot of well-known people. And with Two of Swords here, this feels like an inevitability. This is kind of the opposite of like a stalemate or a block. This is kind of like something that sucks you through so strongly that it's like you have no choice. It's like a no choice. With Two of Swords reverse, it's like a no choice situation. It can also mean that you have deliberated this idea about fame in your life for like a while or something like that. But there's a feeling of an inevitability pulling you in a specific direction when it comes to this. And sometimes the universe does this thing too, where it's like we think we're going to be famous, but the only reason we're thinking that is because through learning about fame and through learning about how to be famous, it is actually teaching us to go this other route, but on a side path where you are with famous people, but you're like doing this side activity, if that makes sense. But you have to know about fame in this lifetime is what I'm seeing. But as far as being famous, not in this lifetime. So yeah. Okay. Simeon says, Cody, sorry, they're going by so fast, guys. If you wanted to stay in the chat, you can super chat. I know that's like money and stuff, and I don't care. Like you don't have to do that. But let me see. Okay, it's slow down. Hold on, let me read. What happened to the stray cat that used to come to my house? I haven't seen her in 3 days. Okay, King Vegeta wants to know what happened to the stray cat that came to his house. He hasn't seen her in 3 days. So what happened to the stray cat that used to come to King Vegeta's house? I haven't seen her in 3 days. Let's see. Okay. Well, first of all, she got lost. So she got lost, and her sense of direction, she's a little confused right now. There might even be I don't know if like pets have mental health stuff, but she might be a little disoriented or confused right now. I also see that she's thinking about finding an owner or a person who she can rely on. This cat is kind of thinking about that. Like the cat is thinking like, well, who can I go that can like support me or take care of me? Like I need to find the right person. It feels like she's shopping for like people right now or something like that, or she's looking for a new person, or she has this person in her mind idea or something like that. But I also see that even though she's a little lost, with the Four of Wands card, she's having fun. Like she's a happy cat. So this cat is like very happy. She's peaceful. She's having fun. She's doing fun things. She's exploring. She's just chilling. I don't know if the cat's a she or a he. I actually misgender animals like 100% of the time incorrectly. I don't know what that is. I don't know why, but like it's like surefire. I will guess the gender wrong 100% of the time. I don't know what that is, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so for example, the cat's just really happy. She's chilling. Yeah. Yeah, she's okay. King Vegeta, she's okay. I wouldn't get the Four of Wands if she wasn't okay. She's okay. She's lost. Like she's journeying around. She doesn't know where she's going. She's just running around, but it feels like it's a she. Okay. Wow, I got that right. Wow. First time. Yeah, she's just happy. Like she feels happy. Pink Vision says, will Renato succeed to repair Carlos' car problem? It's 1 year he's waiting. Okay. I think I understand this question. Let's see. Will Renato succeed to repair Carlos' car problem? So, will Renato repair Carlos' car problem? It's 1 year he's waiting. Okay. Will Carlos' car problem be repaired by Renato? Okay. Let's do this one. Okay. Someone for this connection may have been worried about theft of some kind, because I got the Seven of Wands in reverse. So someone's worried about someone being maybe unethical in their services, but that does feel like only a concern or only a worry. I do think with the Magician here, this is the guy who has like all the tools and he can like make whatever he wants. I think this car is going to get repaired. I think it's going to happen sooner than you think with the Eight of Wands. This card's about suddenness. So I think it's going to happen sooner than you think. It also is going to happen in divine timing. Like there's going to be a certain situation that happens that the universe is going to present you with this thing, and then all of a sudden the car will be prepared. You'll be like, that was like a miracle. Like, how did that happen like that? Like, we thought this was not going to happen or whatever. It feels very much like divine energy coming through. And we have the Magician here representing the car repair guy. And this is just good energy overall. The Magician has all four tools: the pentacle, the dagger, the sword, the cup, and the wand. And the electricity is just reminding me, especially if this car is an electric car, that's a really good sign it is going to be repaired. But yeah, and I think there's an unnecessary fear about someone being a little unethical. I don't think anyone's being unethical in this situation, especially because Seven of Swords is reversed. So just keep that in mind. If you're nervous about that, chances are someone is not being super unethical, even though you're thinking, or that's a fear that you're having. Okay, let's see. King Vegeta says, because she just disappeared and I was worried someone ran over her or something. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like that. I would have gotten something else if that was the case. Pink Vision says, yeah, he is a real magician, but he is lazy and he lies. Aha, Seven of Swords. Yeah. I feel like it's like this fear that he's maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I can see that because the Seven of Swords talks about your perception of him because it's in reverse. It's like how you view him. He might not be that way, but you view him that way. FDI says, Cody, I was getting a message that a situation is coming to me soon that I have to be very careful about. Can you guide me a bit? Because I'm not sure what exactly it is. Okay, so for FDI, needs guidance on a situation that he needs to be careful about. How can FDI be more careful about a situation coming up where he doesn't know what the situation is. I said he, but I don't know if you're a he or she, so I'll just, okay. It's not bad. I'm probably making a face that makes it look like it's bad. It's actually looking really positive, and I'm like, there's really nothing to be worried about. So maybe that's the message in and of itself, that FDI, you don't have something to be worried about. It just feels like FDI, there's a break in your routine. It feels like there's something you've been doing day in and day out that might be coming to an end, or it might be like shifting in some way, shape, or form. It could also be something along the lines of like, you're thinking this is what's going to happen. Like you're thinking there's going to be something that you're going to have to work at day in and day out, something like that. But what I do see with King of Pentacles here is you're probably going to be coming more into a sense of generous energy, which usually means we have money to spend if we're coming into this sense of generosity. I do also think you're going to master something in a career sense. So this could be a promotion of some kind. I also think with the Chariot here, this will set a lot of things into motion or help you purchase a new vehicle, if that is something you are working towards as well. We also have a burst of magic. It's like a lightning bolt hitting a flower, and I think this is interesting because the Tower, which really represents something maybe that we feel like we need to be careful about or something like that, the lightning bolt is hitting the tower, it's like breaking it and destroying it. And in this card, the lightning bolt is hitting the flower, and the flower is blooming open. I think that this feeling of like worry about something is actually a positive feeling. So I would just double check with yourself if this is coming from a place of fear or anxiety versus like your intuition. I'm not so good at determining those myself either, because I use tarot cards and then I read for that. But I know people, there's like methods and stuff. Like I'm sure people on this live are gonna know about this, but there's like methods you can do to determine like whether it's like wishful thinking or if it's anxiety or intuition. But it almost feels like everything's gonna be fine. And I hate to burst your bubble and like give you this message, because I know you're kind of looking for like steps on how to be careful with it. But when I got the reading out here, it just felt like everything's fine. Like I don't want to say, I mean, I do want to say that because that's what I'm seeing, and I don't want to just like, honestly, that's what I'm seeing. Obviously, you have to follow your own judgment. If you really feel like something's coming for you, and I'm trying to think of how you could best prepare for these blessings. Like if that's something, like is there a side to these blessings where there's going to be, I don't really see anything, honestly. Like it just feels like there's going to be a break in your routine is something that I'm seeing, and you might be fearing that, but that might actually be bringing something better into your life, right? So FDI says, no, I love this message. Thank you. Feeling good. Yeah, good. It just feels like it was like almost like unnecessary worry. Has that happened to you in your life, FDI, before? It feels like that could be a reoccurring pattern. Like, have you worried about something and then nothing happened? Like, I'm wondering if that's something that you've done. Okay, BB says, what energy do you see around my current projects and future work path? Okay, so let's see, BB. What does BB have in his future around always? That's so funny. FDI says always. Yeah, don't sweat it too much. Yeah, it feels like blessings coming. What energy, okay, I'm gonna go back to BB real quick. What energy do you see around my current projects and future work path? What do we see around BB's projects and future work path? Let's do this. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna pull a timing card for you, BB. Oh, interesting. your time where a lot of things are going to come to fruition, BB, is in May sometime. I also think right now you're in this feeling of like, I'm going to have to balance a lot. Like there's this feeling of like, am I going to have to balance a lot? Like, am I going to have to do this and that and this and that? And I see you thinking you're going to have like multiple different jobs and stuff like that. And having to balance all these different things. And there's it's either a fear of this or it's a thought about this. It's a feeling of having to juggle a lot. But with the hang one here, there's a feeling of like, like kind of in the future, seeing things from a different perspective. And when this happens in someone's career, it's like getting the insight onto where you want to go in your career, because it's almost like this feeling of like the worry being transmuted. So the best way I can describe this is if there's a worry of like, I'm gonna have to juggle all this and all this stuff, the hangman indicates like a shift in perspective, an enlightenment of like this particular issue that you're going through, this particular fear, BB, that you're going through. And then it being like this feeling of like awakening, or like this feeling of like, oh, it's a totally different thing than I have thought of. So I would tell you first, and this feels like it's a lot of this stuff's manifesting in May, but that's one thing I want to point out. And you won't be able to figure this out ahead of time. It's going to be something that you just see differently all of a sudden. And it's a feeling of enlightenment. That's what this hanged one means. It's like all of a sudden you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is how it is. And you just really instantly realize that. Also with the Hermit and the Two of Cups, this is the stuff that's probably going to manifest more in May. But we have the Hermit and the Two of Cups. There's a strong feeling of, how do I put this? Like, it's like a soul connection, right? So there's a feeling of like, the first thing I thought of with this too is romance. So it could be someone romantic coming in, but because you asked about a career reading, I had to remind myself of that. And I said, this is probably a career related partnership. So it could be something that's both. I don't know if you're single or not, but it could be something that's both. But I do see a period where you really are analyzing your work and your job and trying to figure out like where you want to go from here. Because once you get this little secret information with the hang one there's this feeling of like, where do I want to go with my job? How do I want to illuminate it? How do I want to move into the future? And there's a feeling of being like, I want to work with specific people. And you seek these people out and you work with them and you create these partnerships. And that feels like this is what's happening till around like next May. So this feels almost like a year kind of situation or something like that. But yeah, that's what I got for you. It does feel like you'll be in something with like specific partners, or you'll be more selective about the partners you're working with because of like a soul alignment. Let's see. King Vegeta says, what would happen if I asked S out? What will she think, say? So King Vegeta wants to know, what will happen if King Vegeta asks S out? Hold on, I gotta turn a little more light on in here, guys. What will King Vegeta, or what will S say if King Vegeta asks her out? Let's see here. Well, I think she'll be very like happy. I mean, we have the Ace of Cups upright, but we also have this vibe of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the Hierophant's in reverse. And that usually to me in a situation like this means matchmaker. It means someone introducing you to her. So there's a feeling of like, maybe you're thinking like, should I go through someone? Like, should I have someone else ask her out for me? And then should I like approach her or something like that? But this vibe feels very much like she's glad you didn't do that. It's like the feeling of you went up to her directly and she's like very happy that you did not go through someone else, something like that. There's also a vibe that she's glad that when you ask her out, you're not like trying to help her with something. Like you're not going up to her and being like, oh, can I help you with your homework? Or can I help you with your project or something? Or, you know, I can help you with that, something like that. Like she finds it like refreshing. I feel like there's a feeling of directness, or there's a feeling of just like going for it without necessarily having to like pitch it like you're giving her charity, or pitch it like, or have someone like approach her. I think she appreciates a more direct approach is kind of what I'm seeing. And Ace of Cups just is like a big fat yes, if that's what you're looking for. I don't know. That's what it feels like. But I don't know. Sorry. I hate to give people like hopeful like stuff and then they like do something and then it's like not that. Like, but I have to just read what I see, you know? Like, I try not to give overly positive messages, but if I see it, I'm just going to say it because that's what I'm seeing. King Vegeta says, as usual, you're accurate because I was thinking of having my friend randomly hint something. Oh, sorry, your message slipped past. I didn't see it. Haha, I guess I'll ask her out and see what happens. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I always think people like, you know, let's see, you can ask someone out. Like, okay, how do I put this? Like, the chances we take on asking people out, like, oftentimes we won't do them for like a whole year. But then, like, if you think about when you do ask someone out, the hurt of rejection, although it stings, only lasts for like, I know, for me, it only lasts like 4 or 5 days, especially if I like just met a person. I you know, sometimes it's weird to see him again, but then at the same time, it's like, I don't know, then it's over, you know, like you can move on, you can ask someone else out, or you can think about someone else. Let's see. Madeline says, what is coming in for me in my work life? I see multiple options for myself and feel overwhelmed. 4 to 5 minutes. King Vegeta says, I thought you were about to say 4 to 5 minutes, LOL. No, I wish I felt pain that short of time. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Madeline says you lose 99% of the shots you don't take. King Vegeta says, my last ex took almost 6 years for me to get over. I was just reading someone's question. If you guys want me to answer that, just put it back in the chat because I'm like spaced out now after I got sidetracked with the conversations. Yeah, Rachel's Magic says, I agree, just take a chance. In my honest opinion, don't wait too long if you can help it. Yeah. King Vegeta says, my last ex took almost 6 years for me to get over. Yeah. See, that's the thing, though. That's when you're in a relationship, and that's different than asking someone out. Like, you know, like going on a date is very different than like staying together for a long time, because then it's like hard to get over. Yeah, maybe me and S can adopt a cat. That'd be cool. Oh, have you guys seen my new reading? I posted a pet reading recently on YouTube. FDI is making a bunch of emoticon faces and I can't see them because there we go. It's a tears and a laughy and a tears. Okay, here's got a question. What are my boyfriend's current feelings towards me and what is the most likely path for our relationship? Is there marriage for us soon? Haas. Okay. What is this? Sorry, Haas, your reading's kind of confusing me a little bit. Let's see here. Haas, it almost feels like there's something about a burden in this connection. And I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not trying to speak out of turn, but it does feel like there's something about a burden because when I pulled this card, it's almost about like releasing a burden. It says you're asking about, is there marriage for us soon? And I think there's a feeling of wanting that. And that could be what this death card is, but there's a feeling of ending a major chapter. But like in your mind, you're worried about it being disappointing or losing something from this chapter that you're ending. I see that the connection's passionate and you will always have that in this connection, but there's something about feeling like you're going to lose something either if you break up with this person or you feel like you're going to lose something if you marry them. Something like that. And then with the Six of Pentacles here in reverse, I pulled this about the death card and it does feel like it's the feeling of like a spirit guide or some angel or something giving you both gifts. at the same time and being like, look, you each get something. It's like two kids who are fighting over like what they want to receive, and then someone coming in and being like, oh no, you each get that thing you wanted. And that's why I can't really make sense of this reading fully, because this death card could be marriage, but it does feel more like something that might end. And I don't want to like say that officially, because it does feel like the passion is still going to be there. It almost feels like that vibe of like, even if you guys drop the burdens of the connection and what's been bothering you guys, there's still a feeling the passion will always be there. It's like you can't lose that passion for each other. But you might actually decide to move into something different, but it feels like it's fair. Whatever it is, it feels fair. And it feels like there's this feeling of like, it's like, oh, like a foreknowledge that it will be fair if you guys do part ways. But as far as marriage goes, with the death card here, I'm more inclined to say not that. But yeah. Yeah, and so, but it does feel like there's a release of a weight, like a release of a weight off your shoulder or something like that. Okay, let's see. Madeline says, I'm glad. Rachel's Magic says, that was cute. I've never seen anyone post a new pet reading. Okay, I'm glad you guys like that reading. Rachel's Magic says, my question is, what should I focus on in September for a better mind, body, soul alignment? I'm trying to go with the energies of Virgo season. Okay, what should Rachel's Magic focus on in September for better body, mind, soul alignment? Ooh, I love these cards for you. Well, I would say, Rachel's Magic, that September is a month for you about reinvention. You're reinventing the way you see people helping you and the way you help other people. That is something that's going to make your body, mind, and soul more healthy, is you're reinventing the way you help people, you're reinventing the way people are helping you. There's a whole new way of dealing with that aspect that's going to be transforming in September. I also see how you manage your money is going to be changing. This might be something that's more small, subtle, but I do see there's a feeling of keeping things in balance that's important in September, but you're reinventing how you do that balance. So for example, maybe you used to track finances on like a spreadsheet or something like that. And now you're instead of tracking like the amount you're spending, you're tracking how many transactions you do, something like that. So every time you swipe your credit card, you're marking a mark on a notebook or something like that. And so you see how many transactions you're doing versus how much you are like actually spending financially. Instead of adding up all the numbers, you're just going like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to just track my transactions. Only 4 transactions a day for me. And then once I'm at that, that's all I'm going to do, you know, and somehow that keeps you balanced. 10 of Pentacles also talks about reinvention with family dynamics, or reinvention in your community. So that could be how your community sees you. It could be how your family sees you. Overall, this feels like a peaceful energy, this reinvention, but it could be something even more interesting in that like you start spending time with another family member that you normally don't spend time with, versus spending time, air just turned off, so that could be a confirmation. But you're just spending time with certain family members that you wouldn't normally spend time with. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for that. You guys, I will be on for like another 2 minutes, but I'm not answering any more questions because I got to go catch a show that's at 7. It's like 6:47 here, and I got to catch a show at 7. Shake it up a little, King. Oh, my future spouse will love about me. Oh, Danya, I appreciate you retracted the message. Thanks, I appreciate that. Let's see. What is coming in from me in my work life? Thank you. Rachel's Magic says, this is on point for me. Tallying transactions will give me less anxiety. You're awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that like random, I just thought of that right now. I probably should do that too, honestly. King Vegeta says, it's also 6:47 here. I'm guessing you're also West Coast. Yep, Pacific Standard Time, Southern California. Let's see. Enjoy your show, Cody. Goodbye, y'all. Stay safe. Yeah, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna try to upload this right now before I head to the show. But thanks, guys. It was fun reading for you. I thought I was gonna be like loopy. I'm on new medication, so I'm just trying to see if I can read tarot on the new medication. Felt like I could, so yeah. Joyce is here. Hi, Joyce. Good, and she said good night, Cody. King Vegeta says, thank you for giving me peaceful thoughts towards the stray and hope for my crush. Yeah, you're welcome. FDI says, yeah, thank you, Cody. Yeah, you're welcome. Also, if I gave you a reading that you were disappointed with, remember, follow your own judgment, guys. And you don't always have to accept a reading if it doesn't align with your soul. Even if it's personal, one-on-one, even if it's about a personal question, it's your choice. You can accept that energy if you want or not if you don't want, you know? King Vegeta says, oh my God, you're also from SoCal. If I ever see you walking down the street, can I say hi? Okay, funny story. I'm not going to end the live because I got to tell this story. I was at a bar and I only go to like my hometown. Like I don't go anywhere else. Yeah, I was at a bar and a guy came up to me and he was like, oh my gosh, I've seen you online. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you do the tarot stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, you see me on YouTube? He's like, no, TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but apparently there's like videos of me on TikTok. And I don't know, like maybe I should be on TikTok to like monetize it or something, but like it just was really funny that he said TikTok. I was like thinking in my head, like maybe he's confused. Maybe he didn't realize he was watching YouTube or Instagram because I don't have a TikTok, but yeah. My fame is spreading. Yeah, it was just really weird to have someone come up to me in like my very small town. And, you know, that's like a full on, like, you know, my small town's like a Christian fest. Like there's a lot of churches here, like tons of, like way too many churches for any one place to have. I like that shirt. I like this shirt too. It's a good shirt. Tony Tres says, hey, how are you doing, brother? Tony, I'm doing good. I'm just about to get off though. But yeah, anyway, I got to get off, guys. I'll see you guys later. Have fun with your, what is tonight? Tonight, Saturday? Saturday night? Have fun Saturday night for those of you who it's Saturday. For those of you who it's Sunday or, you know, I have a lot of people in India that watch. So if I don't know what time it is where you guys are at, but yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.